A man is in custody tonight following a violent 18 hours in Metairie that left 3 people dead just down the street from each other. The shootings happened along West Metairie Avenue, the first near Henry Landry, the second this afternoon on North Starrett. Paul Dudley is live from the Sheriff's Office, 4th District, with the latest on this. Paul?
Go.
Yeah, Ton, 3 people shot and killed in less than 24 hours is making a very sad situation for the families of these victims. But tonight, an arrest. Sheriff Joe Lopinto telling us moments ago that the person that they have arrested, he is absolutely certain, is the person who is responsible for shooting all 3 people.
Nothing ever happens like that around here.
A neighborhood in disbelief tonight, shocked by the violence in their normally quiet community.
That's why everybody's out. They can't believe what's going on.
Lorraine Meehan lives right down the street from where 2 people were shot and killed while sitting in an SUV shortly after 4 Tuesday afternoon.
We've had a violent day in Jefferson Parish, especially over here on the East Bank along West Metairie.
This shooting on West Metairie Road and North Upland happened just a mile or so away from another deadly shooting that took the life of a 26-year-old earlier in the morning.
This time we have 1 suspect in custody. We have to obviously do our follow-up to see if there's anything else involved.
That suspect was arrested by deputies with the help of the SWAT team at a house near Mitchell, just off Airline Drive. Sheriff Joe Lopinto says the suspect is responsible for shooting all 3 victims.
We have recovered a gun. We have some information on the scene that obviously ties both of those crimes together.
The suspect's name, age, or a motive have not been released yet. Neighbors like Meehan are troubled by the violence.
You know, if it's random, now if they had a reason or something, I don't know. But if it's just random shooting, it could happen to anybody.
And the names, the name of this suspect and the names of these victims, as well as more information about the victims and this suspect, are expected to be released at a press conference that's scheduled for tomorrow at noon. That is the very latest live in Metairie. Paul Dudley, Eyewitness News.
Paul, thank you.